once the truss rod and the string action are at the levels that you want them to be at, the next step in completing the setup of a guitar is working on what is called the intonation. Intonation is a fancy word and might scare a couple people, but it's actually not too big of a deal. The concept is relatively simple. So once my guitar is perfectly in tune, I have a perfect E, perfect A, perfect D, perfect G, perfect B, and another perfect E. Once I reach the 12th frets of each string, they should also be perfectly the same note. Each string has its own individual length that it needs to be at. As you can see on this bridge right here, that there are different lengths for each string. And the reason for this is that each string is a different size, and when you pluck it and you're forcing it to vibrate at certain speeds, it causes different fluctuations in how that instrument sounds. Because each string is vibrating at different amounts and there are different ways of it interacting physically, it requires a different length in order to reach an octave note. So as I go up the string at the 12th fret, I am expecting to hear a perfect E. If I don't, then an adjustment needs to occur. So I'm going to begin this by adjusting the very bottom E string, and I'm going to be checking to see that first and foremost I have a perfect E at the very top of my instrument. I have a very high quality tuner at my house that measures in measurements of a cent. A cent is such a small unit of measurement that even the human ear can't really decipher the difference between them. So it is very, very precise. Most tuners that I have at the school that I teach at are not at that level. They're not at that same level of precision. And so a regular tuner that you're going to get can still help you intonate your instrument at a level that you enjoy and it sounds good to you. But if you want to be a perfectionist such as myself, you're going to want an even higher level tuner. So for me, I'm running through a music editing program right now. This guitar is running through it, and that music editing program is FL Studio. There are different audio editing programs such as GarageBand or Audacity or Pro Tools for the the big time people who are really gung ho about their music editing. So there's different programs, and I found a tuner that fits into my program that is extremely precise. So I first tune and make sure that my E is going to be extremely precise, and then I check my octave. If I need adjusting, then I will begin to adjust. So first let's start by tuning our E string. So currently it's a little flat. So now my E is perfectly in tune. At this point now I'm going to hold on to the 12th fret, and I'm hoping to see an exactly perfect E. If I don't, I know I need to adjust the length of my string. Because I've adjusted, number one, the straightness of my neck, and number two, the height of the string, it is totally normal to expect that I'm going to need to change the distance of the string. At this moment in time, I have noticed that the string is actually sharp at the 12th fret. What this means is that the length of my string is actually too short. Because it's so short, when I'm pushing down the 12th fret, I'm actually pushing down at a location that is higher on my string than my string's resonant halfway distance. So due to that, I'm going to want to take this distance right here and push it in this direction. So I'm going to take my little tool over here, and I'm going to adjust the distance of this individual piece, push it backwards. I had to turn off the light because I actually couldn't see what I was doing, but I have now properly adjusted the length of the string. It might be hard to tell, but the length of this little piece that holds the string is further back than it used to be. Now, I've tested the string. When both the E is a perfect E, and now the 12th fret is also a perfect E, which is what I want. So I now know that as I play up the instrument, my E string will be perfectly in tune the whole way up the instrument. At this point, it's also a good idea to mention the fact that when you do adjust these, that there is a change in the string note. And so each time you make an adjustment, in order to check it, you first have to retune your E string to perfect E. Due to this process is relatively time consuming. However, once it's done, you know that you can play your instrument with complete confidence. Another note to add is that you don't want to intonate your guitar on brand new strings. If you've put them on within the last day or so, just hold off. Intonation should be completed on an instrument after your strings have had a day to sit. The reason for this is that strings stretch slightly, which will change their resonant properties, and also due to the fact that a small amount of your skin gunk ends up getting on the strings, which once again changes the resonant properties. So you'll notice that a string that is perfectly intonated on the first day of it being on your instrument will actually be slightly incorrect on the second day. The guitar is now perfectly intonated. As I play an open E string, currently I'm a little sharp. Once it's perfectly intonated, if I play the octave, it is also a perfect E. Next an A, perfect A, perfect D, perfect D. Perfect G, perfect G, perfect B, perfect B, perfect E, perfect E. Now at this point, I can be very confident that as I play my instrument and I play some high lead solos, every single note that I play will sound good, will play good, will mix into a song that I'm recording, will mix into a band that I'm playing with. All of that, it will mix very, very well. The last point I want to make is a topic that's due to physics, and it's that you cannot set a guitar on a flat surface, your lap or a desk, and expect to perfectly intonate your guitar. The reason for this is due to, number one, gravity, and also, number two, due to magnetism. Because I have magnets right here in my pickups, these magnets actually have a aggressive pulling force on my strings. And though to the naked human eye we can't see that it is pulling, you can see and hear in different pickups when they're pulling on strings more. And so due to that, if I lay a guitar flat, I'm, number one, going to be adding gravity on top of the already pulling force of my magnets, which will increase and actually flatten my strings. And as I go up the guitar, this problem will increase. So it makes only perfect sense that you would want to intonate and tune your guitar while it's sitting flat on your body in a vertical position where you're also going to be playing it 99 times out of 10. It doesn't make sense to play guitar like this. It makes sense to play guitar like this, so it makes sense to intonate a guitar in the same position. So every single adjustment is first made on a flat surface with my tool, and then I return it to my body to double check to make sure that the intonation adjustment that I made was correct. At this point, now my guitar, the truss rod has been adjusted, the action of the strings has been adjusted, and now the intonation at the 12th fret has been adjusted. For most people, this adjustment will be everything that you need to be extremely happy with the performance of your guitar. Every single solo should sound great, every single chord should sound great, everything is going perfect. For those who are looking for even larger levels of perfection, such as myself, the next video will explain that.